Imagine an empire so powerful that it ruled millions of people. Its cities were filled with magnificent palaces. Its roads stretched farther than the eye could see. Its markets overflowed with gold, spices, silk, and precious stones. Foreign travelers wrote about its incredible wealth with amazement. Then, almost as if it vanished into the mist of history, it disappeared, not because every building was destroyed, not because every person suddenly vanished overnight, but because, over time, one of the world's greatest civilizations slowly faded until much of its story was forgotten. Tonight, we'll explore the remarkable rise, the mysterious decline, and the lasting legacy of an empire that seemed to disappear without a trace. This is the story of the Khmer Empire. Long before European explorers reached Southeast Asia, dense, tropical forests covered much of modern-day Cambodia, hidden beneath towering trees and winding rivers. A civilization was quietly preparing to become one of the greatest empires on Earth. Around the early 9th century, a ruler named Jayavarman II united several competing kingdoms. In the year 802 CE, he declared himself a universal monarch. This moment is often considered the birth of the Khmer Empire. From that point forward, the empire expanded rapidly. Its influence spread across what are now Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and parts of Myanmar. Yet unlike many ancient empires, its greatest strength wasn't simply military conquest, it was engineering. The Khmer understood something incredibly valuable: water. The region experienced dramatic seasonal changes. Months of heavy rain were followed by long dry seasons. Without careful planning, agriculture could easily fail. So the Khmer built one of the most sophisticated water management systems in the ancient world. They dug enormous canals, massive reservoirs called beres, artificial lakes, dams, and irrigation channels stretching for miles. These weren't small construction projects. Some reservoirs measured several kilometers across. From above, the landscape resembled an enormous machine designed to control nature itself. This allowed farmers to grow rice in astonishing quantities. Food became abundant. The population grew, cities expanded, and wealth flowed throughout the empire. This engineering achievement laid the foundation for one of history's greatest cities. At the heart of the empire stood Angkor. Today, many people know Angkor because of Angkor Wat, but Angkor was much more than a single temple. It was an enormous urban landscape. Recent archaeological studies suggest that, at its height, it may have been one of the largest cities anywhere in the world. Hundreds of temples rose above forests and fields. Roads connected neighborhoods. Markets bustled with merchants. Pilgrims traveled from distant lands. Craftsmen carved intricate sculptures into sandstone walls. Every surface seemed alive with stories. Kings. Gods, Kama battles, Kama dancers, Kama animals, Kama and scenes from everyday life. At sunrise, golden light reflected from temple towers. At sunset, the buildings glowed with warm shades of orange. For centuries, Angkor symbolized the power of the Khmer Empire. In the early 12th century, King Suryavarman II ordered the construction of what would become the empire's greatest monument, Angkor Wat. Built primarily as a Hindu temple dedicated to Vishnu, it remains the largest religious monument ever constructed. Millions of sandstone blocks were transported from distant quarries, each weighing hundreds of kilograms. Workers carved astonishing details into every wall. Scenes from ancient epics stretched for hundreds of meters. Thousands of celestial dancers, known as Apsaras, smile quietly from the stone even today. The temple's towers represent Mount Meru, the sacred mountain believed to stand at the center of the universe. Everything was designed with extraordinary precision. Astronomy.com, religion, mathematics, architecture, all combined into a masterpiece, unlike any other. Even after nearly 1,000 years, its beauty continues to astonish visitors. Empires rarely disappear overnight. Instead, they often weaken slowly. The Khmer Empire faced several challenges at once. Climate studies suggest that the region experienced severe droughts. These droughts were followed by unusually intense monsoon rains. The enormous water system, so effective for centuries, began to fail under unpredictable conditions. Canals filled with sediment, reservoirs became damaged. Floodwaters destroyed parts of the infrastructure. Without reliable irrigation, agriculture suffered, food production declined, and maintaining such a vast city became increasingly difficult. While environmental problems grew, political challenges also intensified. Neighboring kingdoms became stronger. Among them was in present-day Thailand, conflicts between the two powers became increasingly frequent. In 1431, historical records describe Ayutthaya capturing Angkor. Although historians continue debating exactly how devastating this event was, it marked a turning point. The Khmer royal court gradually shifted southward, closer to modern Phnom Penh. As the capital moved, Angkor slowly lost its importance. Temples, once filled with priests and pilgrims, became quieter. Each passing year, nature began reclaiming the city. Trees pushed roots between stone blocks. Vines climbed temple walls. Leaves covered ancient roads. Birdsong replaced the sounds of busy marketplaces. For generations, the jungle slowly embraced the abandoned city. Despite popular myths, Angkor was never completely forgotten. Local communities continued living nearby. Buddhist monks still visited certain temples. Yet much of the outside world lost awareness of the city's immense scale. When European travelers encountered Angkor centuries later, many struggled to believe such magnificent structures could exist deep within the forest. Some even imagined they had been built by an unknown civilization. The truth was even more remarkable. They were standing inside the remains of one of history's greatest empires. For a long time, researchers believed Angkor consisted mainly of temples, but new technology changed everything. Using airborne laser scanning, known as LiDAR, scientists were able to see through the dense forest canopy. What they discovered amazed archaeologists. Hidden beneath the trees were roads, neighborhoods, canals, reservoirs, bridges, and entire sections of an enormous city. The jungle had concealed a vast urban civilization all along. These discoveries transformed our understanding of the Khmer Empire. It wasn't simply home to magnificent temples. It was a highly organized society with advanced engineering and remarkable planning.